This video continues Chapter 6 on anatomy and physiology by looking at the structure and function of organs of the reproductive system. Now, the reproductive system is obviously different for both males and females. However, for both males and females, development occurs during puberty between about 10 and 14 years of age. Now, that's triggered by something from the endocrine system, the pineal gland, influencing the glands of the reproductive system to release particular sex hormones. Testosterone in males will lead to development of facial hair and pubic hair, and estrogen in females will lead to, say, breast development and also pubic hair as well. Now, many of the male reproductive structures are outside the pelvic cavity. That means they're more vulnerable to injury. We need to, when we assess a patient who's perhaps had an injury there, be very mindful of patient dignity so we can learn ways in patient assessment to maintain that as we respond to the injury or collect a patient history. We can see the structure of the male reproductive system here with the testes outside the body, inside the scrotum, and the external penis. Inside the pelvic cavity, we have a couple of other pieces, principally the prostate gland and the seminal vesicles. The urethra is also part of the urinary system. For males, we can see that it's a part of both. Okay, the external part is going to allow for elimination of wastes when it functions as part of the urinary system, but also part of reproduction. The testes will produce that sex hormone testosterone, the primary male sex hormone, but they also produce sperm. Sperm are unique cells that only have half of the genetic material, and when during sex they perhaps form a union with the egg from the female, then we're back up to a full complement of chromosomes. The female reproductive system is protected by the pelvic bones. That reproductive system is entirely internal. And so we have the ovaries connected by fallopian tubes to the uterus, the cervix, and the vagina. The external structures consist of the labia, the vulva, and the clitoris. The breasts, also part of the female reproductive system in some considerations, have the function of producing milk for newborns. Endocrine glands in the body, the hypothalamus and pituitary, also release hormones that control development of the female reproductive system. So one of the key markers of that will be a woman's first menstrual cycle. The average age is about 12 years, and menopause principally has an onset of around age 52. Menstrual cycle is about 28 days in length, during which a single egg is released from one of the ovaries. That egg can travel through the fallopian tube to the uterus, and if fertilized, will attach to the lining of the uterus to begin development of a fetus. If two eggs are released, you can have fraternal twins. If that single egg divides, we can end up with identical twins. Now, an egg, similar to a sperm, has half the original genetic material. Considering the reproductive system, we can learn later on about illnesses and injuries associated with that. One of the key pieces is being sensitive to the patient, both in terms of assessment and patient history.